Hello and welcome to TalkFCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. And right here and now, it's time to look to September. It's time now to analyse the opponents that we got coming up, the big games that we have in the month to come. And I really do mean it. It's tough. It really, really is. Early on in the season, we're going to get some tests. We're going to get some true tests here that are going to show us exactly where we're at. I've got 5 games here to mini preview in this video. 2 of them at the Camp Nou, 3 of them coming away from home, 4 in La Liga, and 1 massive Champions League clash. It's all coming up. The September preview. Let's do this. And like I say, I genuinely do believe, guys, in the games that we're going to be discussing right here and right now, there are cases that you can make for every single one of our opponents for being a very, very tricky game. In their own way, they certainly are. And we're going to have to really reach our level and do it quickly. Right up until now, we've not been good. We've been very inconsistent. We dropped points that we shouldn't have done. And certainly in these games to come, we're going to have to reach our level. We're going to have to get those injured players back. We are going to have to arrive in these matches producing close to our best level if we're going to succeed. And so, kicking us off here with the first game after this current international break will be coming this weekend on Saturday, the 14th September, in the late kickoff at 9 p.m. Barcelona at the Camp Nou, welcoming Valencia. And that's a very, very difficult introduction back into the league fixtures. That's a tough game, no two ways about it, because you've got to say here, Valencia, quite comfortably, the 4th best team in La Liga. You've got Atletico Madrid, you've got Real Madrid, and then just below that, you've got Valencia, who are a very good team. They've got a good coach in Marcelino, very good players, and we saw last season they're a tough team to face. They really, really are. We went right throughout last season on several occasions. We did not win. We didn't beat them. You look at the Copa del Rey final, they're going to come into this game with real confidence, and they're going to know they can beat us. They can certainly come to the Camp Nou, get a result, they'll believe. And for that reason, we've got to come into this game with exactly the same mindset. We cannot come into this with any fear, and quite honestly, I hope this group of players are out for revenge. They saw what happened in the cup final. We lost the game. It wasn't a good performance from us. We certainly let ourselves down. They're going to come into this game now, hopefully, and we got to feel like we've got to get some revenge. We've got to feel like we've got a point to prove against Valencia, and this right here is a big game. It's a big, big game at the Camp Nou. We've got to win. But that Valencia game there is just the beginning of what is a very, very difficult week of football to come, because just 3 days later, Tuesday, 17th of December, at 9 p.m. once again local time, it's Borussia Dortmund against Barcelona live from the Champions League group stage. And that right there, that is massive. Absolutely huge game. The toughest trip, arguably there, of the group stage campaign for us. And that comes there in our very first match. We've got to hit the ground running. It is a massive, massive game. Coming live from the Signal Iduna Park. We'll be facing the yellow wall, and that is going to be electric. It's going to be an electric occasion. It's going to be a tough stadium to go to, a big European night, and I can't wait for it. I cannot wait for this game, simply because we'll see what we've got. We will see if that group of players, if that coach, it'll be a really, really good guide of where we're at, what we can do, what sort of pressure we can play under, because going to Borussia Dortmund, they're a good team. They've been very, very consistent in the Bundesliga. They got some excellent players, a really good coach there. They set themselves up well, and at home they're a really tough side to go there and beat. And that in the Champions League, those are the kind of games that you line up for, that you get excited for, and you want to go and play in those. And our players should be up for that. They should really be ready for that kind of game in an intimidating atmosphere. You've got to go there and succeed, because that kind of game, an away clash there, that's exactly the kind of problem that we've had in recent times. You look at going away to Roma, you look at going away to Liverpool, we have crumbled on the big stage. Going there, going to Dortmund, let's stand up, let's perform, and let's show what we're all about. And that's the thing about our month of fixtures, guys, because you've got Valencia, you've got Dortmund, and then you've got to go and get yourself up for another game that coming weekend on Saturday, 21st of September at 9 p.m. once again, Granada versus Barcelona. And it's very, very difficult, because you've got this big Champions League game midweek. You go away to Dortmund. Maybe there we put in a great performance. Maybe there we can rise to the level that we need to be to beat Dortmund in Germany. But then you're back down to La Liga. You're back down to La Liga action, playing there a newly promoted side, and quite honestly, you could see that group of players right now taking this a bit easy, taking their foot off the pedal, losing that focus, losing that determination. You can't do that. You cannot do that, because a team like Granada will be exactly the same as we saw against Osasuna. These newly promoted sides, they believe in themselves. They've got confidence. They will believe that coming off the back of a Champions League game, we might be a bit tired, we might have lost sight of this game just a little bit, and they will play on that. They'll come into this game, they'll have no fear, they'll go for us, they'll really try and get some points. And Granada here has started really, really well back in La Liga. They've scored goals, they've got players there who can certainly get themselves goals. They can be of trouble to us, and you've got to understand, we have to be up for this game. La Liga is very important. Certainly want to get some points on the board. We cannot afford to drop any more La Liga points. We've already dropped enough. We've already had the mistakes. And so that for us, even though it's newly promoted Granada, it's still a big game. And trust me guys, our September is pretty brutal because the games do not stop there. You've got Dortmund, you've got in the midweek game there, you go to Granada, then you've got another midweek game. Then you've got to get yourselves up for another midweek fixture, Tuesday, 24th of September at 9 p.m. We're back at the Camp Nou. Barcelona against Villarreal, which is another game. You look at it there, you look at the opposition, you look at the players they've got, and you'd say, look, that could be tricky. Villarreal are never, ever easy opponents, and I think certainly they have the tools again to trouble us, just like we saw them do against Real Madrid so far this season. But at the end of the day, at the Camp Nou, we will always back ourselves to win. We'll be big favourites against Villarreal, and rightly so, because I do feel like we can get at them defensively. Certainly Villarreal are a good team. They've got good creative players, good goal scorers as well, but at the same time, they can be breached defensively. They have got quite a soft centre. You can get at them, and Barcelona at the Camp Nou will feel like Villarreal at home. That's a game, aside from all the others, we can go and win that game. Certainly, no doubt about that. Big favourites. But as these games keep going on, as you have more and more games here in a short space of time, Ernesto Valverde, he's going to need to call upon his squad. He's going to need to look at what he's got there and say, look, maybe we need to rotate, maybe we need to bring in some of the young players. You need to have the trust there in your full squad when you've got a lot of games like this, midweek, weekend, midweek, weekend. Use your squad, use what's available to you, and put that trust in all of your players. And last, but certainly not least, in September, Saturday the 28th, on the weekend there, but at 4 p.m. in the earlier kickoff, it's a trip to the Colosseum to face Getafe. And that game for me, every single thing about it screams out difficult. Every single part of that. You think about the amount of games we've had, you think about the midweek games, recovering from that, you think about the opponent, the quality that Getafe have, the fact they are a very, very good team, and also you look there at the early kickoff. Everything about that game, you're thinking banana skin. Getafe are a very, very capable side. We can't forget this season, they're going to be playing in the Europa League. A European team there are Getafe, and certainly in recent times, you can see going to Getafe coming to us, it's a very difficult game. They won't make it easy for you. They're hard to break down. They're extremely organised. They've got some good players as well, but they're a really good team. And certainly, this is not going to be easy again. Every single game, I'm repeating myself, but it's true. These are tough games. These are games that you need to come into, use your squad, use that full squad of players that we spent so much money on. We've got a really expensive squad, so use it. Use those players to the capabilities that you need them to, because we will need them. Across these games, some very, very challenging fixtures, some very difficult teams, some difficult stadiums. We have got it all in September. We've got it all to do, and like I said before, no more mistakes. We've dropped points already against Athletic Club, against Osasuna. No more can happen, and in the Champions League, we cannot afford a bad start. We've got to hit the ground running. But as always guys, in these types of videos, it's very important as well to look elsewhere. It's important to keep a close eye on what our rivals are doing as well in the month of September. And when you look there at both Atletico and Real Madrid's fixtures, there's one big one there that stands out for me. Saturday, the 28th of September, it's the Madrid derby, live from the Wanda Metropolitano. And that there is going to be a fascinating game for so many reasons. It's always an exciting game. Madrid derby, it's one of the big ones, of course, in La Liga across the course of the season. But with Atletico Madrid right now, 3 wins from 3 at the top of the league, that's a massive game. Real Madrid have struggled like we have. They dropped points too. They've not had a good start of the season. Atletico Madrid there in the Madrid derby at home, what can they do? That could be the kind of game where you announce yourself, where you announce there your title credentials. I really do believe that. And in September, Atletico Madrid have got some tough games. They are going to be showing what they can do in this La Liga season. They play Celta, they play Real Sociedad. Those are not going to be easy games. And I think certainly over the course of the next few games with Atletico, with ourselves, with Real Madrid, we are going to see who's up for it this season, who is going to challenge for everything that's on offer. So please leave your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. What do you think of our September fixtures? All 5 of them. What do you make of each one? And of course, what are your predictions for the month of September? How many points are we going to get? And what's that result going to be? Away at Borussia Dortmund. That's a massive, massive game. And of course, every single game right here. Match previews, match reviews. It's all going down, and we've got to be excited. We've got to be excited about these exciting big games that's coming up. I'll see you soon for them, guys. Thank you, as always, for joining me. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.